Frick, I messed it up. Sorry, guys.
It's
Well,
in the negative time.
yeah, I know. They can hear us. Anyway, well, guys, we kind of messed that up, but okay, here we go. Right, let's begin. It's already scruffed, but welcome, guys. Welcome to the PA Championship, provided by PA themselves, obviously sponsored as always. Welcome to the PA Community Championship. As always, 3 rules you guys have to keep in mind. 1, no sign-ups required. You can just, if you're here first, you compete first. That's basically rule number 1. Rule number 2, we use 2023 cars. If you use anything else, you're disqualified. As simple as that. And rule number 3, as I said before, Project Apex has sponsored this league, so there's a 5,000 Robux prize pool on the line. Now, since that's done, let's go into the standings of the last race. So we have Ni on the very top. Let's see if he can compete for that championship this time around as well. Chris Boy, he didn't end last race, meaning he's close to Ni. He finished second in front of Ni, so there's a 8-point difference in between them. In P3 is Moto, who absolutely set blistering pace last race and just absolutely blew us out of the water, and is 26 points away from Ni. But if he attends the rest of the races, I'm sure he can do something great. But that's it for the standings. If you guys want to take a better look at it, do go ahead and pause the live stream and have a look at them. But since that's done, we're all done from the previous round. Welcome to round number 4. We are in Turkey today, or Istanbul Park is the track's name. And without further ado, let me introduce you today's co-commentator, Mr. G-Force.
Hello everyone, so I have woken up again at this time properly, as I've been meant to the past 4 races, but you know, 2 of the races I didn't, so it's good to be here in Greece, as I was told to say it.
Oh
as you
my
know,
gosh.
yeah, all of this Greek love, but you know, we're in Turkey now, and I hope to see a great race today. You know, see all the people going up, you know, come on Chris, you know, Ni, and that new guy Moto. Wow, 26 points in his first race. Very well done.
Yeah, no, absolutely crazy. And what's it called? He finished right in front of everybody else by a huge gap as well. So I was fairly impressed by him as well. Can't wait to see what he can do this time around if he does attend. But the screen is a bit messed up. Let's go ahead and fix that. It shouldn't have been messed up, but here we go. Actually, is it messed up? It is messed up, yeah. Okay, so Wow, guys, today it's not been a great day broadcasting wise, but there we go, we fixed it.
We're only 5 minutes in.
Yeah. Anyway, we are in the thing. Qualifying is gonna start very shortly as the drivers join us up on the track. It's not gonna be 26 minutes, that's for sure. Uh, 16 minutes. Does that sound logical to you, Mr. G-Force?
Yeah, I feel like maybe 15 minutes. Give him a little bit more, rush.
A little bit more rush. Well, G-Force is feeling like we should give you guys a little bit more of a rush, so
Yep.
let's make that exactly 15 minutes and see what you guys are capable of doing. Um, and yeah, that's about it. So welcome to Istanbul Park. It was kind of a messy start this time around. Kind of messed up everything, but we're here and qualifying is underway. How you feeling today, G-Force?
Uh, I'm feeling like I just woke up an hour ago. That's how I'm feeling. But no, I'm feeling okay, decent today. Ready, excited for what's to come in the new day. First day of the break, very enjoyable, and I'm going to spend my first hours of it watching the spectacle of a race with my buddy Rowoff.
The spectacle with the buddy. Nothing better than that. As we have the first car out on track, Mr. Seth Woolley. Um, he's fairly low on the points, but he has been finishing consistently. Sorry about that as well. Yeah, and we have Nee on track, which is great to see. Chris is here. Oh, as Seth Woolley has a massive moment and he spins around. A lot of bumps, and we're gonna see a lot of drivers being caught out by those bumps in today's race for sure. It's fairly bumpy today.
Yep, as you can see, another. Oh, he makes a half spin, and I mean, it's just his outlap. Yeah, but like, still, that gives you questions of how he's going to perform in the real laps. Can he get a good lap time without what's it called, making those mistakes? How? Well, we'll see in the next couple of minutes of qualifying, as he will be the first to set his lap as long as someone doesn't overtake him. But yeah, we have Chris here on a high P2 from last race, which is a really good finish. He's been catching up to Nee ever since, in the P2. He won against him in Silverstone. And yeah, those crucial points I was talking about really do add up. And now he's just 6 points behind Nee, which could be could be very minimal in terms of their championship battle, but also could be very important as those 6 points could decide the difference between 5,000, well, not 5,000, like 3,000 if I'm doing my maths correct, and like 1,000.
Yeah, lots of Robux on the line. Doesn't really matter the exact amount, but a winner is still a winner. Even if it wasn't for the Robux, they could just take the pride with them and say that they won in their Arthur PA Community Championship.
Yep, nothing greater than that.
Yeah, but the Robux is just a bonus, a really great bonus, if you ask me.
A really huge bonus.
Really huge bonus. Gives a goal to the people that are, in this championship. So we'll see what happens, definitely. As we have HVSK for the first time ever in a PA Community Championship race. That's pretty cool. Good
Yep, and there's also, yep, I think Seth is almost on his hot lap. I'm not sure, like, if we could have the timing up. I don't know if that's like, yeah. But HSVK, he's rounding the corners to go on his hot lap, so we'll just see how he performs now as he crosses the start finish line with the DRS opened. I think he's close enough to that first apex as he could have been, but he's on the grass now, so I think it might be over. I'm not too sure about that, but yeah, as he goes around, he has a little bit of a there's a huge moment there, and he messes up.
Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, there's still 10 minutes to go in this qualifying session. 11 actually, so that's pretty good. We have the first valid lap set by Mr. Fisken164, so the lap time to beat is a 1:23.2, and let's see how that goes as we move through the qualifying session. Just eight drivers today. Hopefully more join throughout the qualifying session, because come on guys, it's 5,000 Robux.
Yeah, that huge bonus, guys. Come on, what are we doing here? But yeah, we can expect that that provisional poll time to come down really fast as we see
Wow.
HSVK set a 112.447, getting the new fast lap. But that was the lap with the moment, I believe. So it will definitely go down further. Roof sets a 1 minute 112, and the leaderboard times are just coming in. Seth is in P3 with 5 seconds behind P2, so he has definitely a lot of ground to make up.
All right, so Ruth is resetting himself. Yep, there we go. For those of you who don't know, you can just press the space bar and go back to the pits, not lose too much amount of time. So that's what he was doing. As we have Fiskin going through the final corner again, probably a keyboard player from what I can see.
Yeah.
Does he have DRS active? Is the question. Yes, he does. There we go. As he goes down into turn number 1, this is a fairly bumpy section of the track as well. We're going to see lots and lots of moment around Turkey. So Turkey was actually decided by Mr. Harafoxy in last broadcast. So if you guys hate Turkey, blame Harafoxy. Go into his DMs and send the worst possible stuff you can think of.
Is that what you did?
We better not get into that. All right.
But yeah, around Turkey we have Chris on. I think this is gonna be. I think he was out in the session, but like he was in the lobby, so we'll see if this is his first outlap or whole lap. I'm not too sure about that, but as he goes around, he's making his way around the track. Is it his? I think yeah, it is his outlap as he has the red first sector. So we'll have to wait until he makes it around because he is my favorite again to win the entire race because he's been so prolific, but. That changes that puts a little doubt in my mind because the half spin there is a little concerning. Oh, shuffle.
Yeah, sorry to cut you there, Mr. GeForce, but Mr. Shuffle, €2 donation. Absolutely appreciate it, man. Do you know what's better than Robux? Money. Indeed. Indeed, my friend. Absolutely appreciate the €2 donation. Hope you're doing well, bro. And hope your day is doing well. Anyways, we were saying, Mr. GeForce, that, what were we saying actually? Sorry.
We were talking about how Chris is definitely a fan favorite to win the race. So yeah, I do agree. Money is infinitely better than Robux. As we see a purple sector coming from Chris in the last sector, so you can definitely see there's a lot of time to make up. So I feel like this is his. Oh, yeah, he has a massive moment at Gonzadres. Gonzadres? I've never heard of that. But yeah, Knee is also
Never heard
there.
of Gons?
No, I've heard of the name Gons, but not Gonzadres. Not like, there's always Gonzales, not Gonzadres.
Oh.
But
Okay.
yeah,
Fair enough.
purple first sector from Chris, if I am correct, yep. And he is obviously going to most likely make it on pole here as he's like the Max Verstappen of this league. I shouldn't say that, but there's a lot of competition. But yeah, he is definitely going to be a prominent figure throughout these couple of races. As Knee, I think he took that a bit too fast there, having a lot of what's it called? He needs to have had a lot of wheel spin there, from what I could see. But riding on board with Chris and
Wait,
all of these
Project Apex really, really playing its part into this. Right, where is Knee? There we go. Finally, it works. Sorry. Anyways, continue.
Riding with Knee in ninth, from what I can see, he has a green first sector, which is he has a little bit of the moment, and I think.
Can I interrupt you real quick? So,
Yeah.
Mr. Chris, 1.10.7, so 2 seconds quicker than absolutely anyone on the track. He's on provisional pole. So that's the kind of lap times we were expecting by a goat called Mr. Chris. And yeah, so 110.7 provisional pole. And GeForce, you can continue what you were saying.
Yep, Knee is going to be the one to challenge that, but he does not get the apex there. He does hit that one and the last one there, but I don't think he'll set a good enough lap time to challenge Chris there. Maybe a 111. Yep, I was correct. I'm always correct. 111.3 is the P2 time. People in P3, HSVK, and Roof need to step it up. But as we saw around this track, there are so many bumps and turns that just make you spin out as well. So it's going to be really difficult to set lap time. And it also makes you wonder about the race too. Like, people might spin out in the race. It could cost many people many points that could be detrimental to the rest of the championship.
And I'm actually fairly surprised how GeForce guessed that lap from Knee. That's pretty good. But Knee is like, what, 9/10 away from Chris? So he still has lots of ground to make up if he wants to win this race. We've seen from past races on Nice performance that he is very fast, but he just does not have the consistency needed to challenge those winners that we've had so far. So let's see. He needs to minimize those penalties this time. He needs to minimize the spins, the crashes, the mistakes, the everythings, and just keep it clean because lots of bumps around here, lots of mistakes can happen. If Nee can keep it clean, I'm sure he'll have a big chance. And that goes for actually everyone on this lobby. Lots of bumps around here. If they can keep it clean, they will have an advantage, Mr. GeForce.
Yep, Mr. Roarfer. But yeah, Nee is. I don't know where you got that 9/10 value from, but he is like 6/10 behind Chris,
Sorry.
which is definitely a gap to make up. But yeah, everyone has, needs to keep it consistent because as we've, as I'm going to reiterate here, there's a lot of bumps. Yeah, exactly, right there, which HVK on the main straight as well. How is that possible? I don't know. It's just Turkey. But yeah, and so that means that in the race, you'll have to stay increasingly consistent, increasingly like safe to drive, or else you're not like. Okay, that was just.
Another
I don't know
one?
what happened with Roof there.
Mr. Dillo! 10 euros by Mr. Dillo. That's absolutely incredible. Let's see what it says. Sorry to cut you again. Sassy is the goat. The goat. I swear. Yeah. Thanks for the 10, man. So if you guys don't know, Mr. Dillo is a bit sick fairly. So we wish him a very fast recovery. And hopefully, yeah, it doesn't take too long. How you doing, man? How is your day been? And hope you're feeling better. Again, thanks for the 10. Absolutely
I
massive, yeah.
Yeah, I disagree with the statement that Sassy's a goat because he was very rude to me on my writing. But yeah, as we continue throughout the race, that was really nice. Well, thank you, Dillo, for supporting the Row Arthur channel. But here we have Roof crossing the main straight. Whether this is his out lap or his main lap, we'll have to find out. As no, it is his hot lap as he goes into the first corner. That was actually quite nice from
Talk
him
us
there.
through it, GeForce.
Yeah, he is definitely a keyboard player, as you can see with those what's it called sharp, like small turns. As he goes into the second corner, he's not as close to the apex extents, but he does hit it really nicely there, and he manages to keep it in control, not spinning out or causing any wheel spin. As he goes on to this longer straight and into this heavier braking zone, as he does clip it slightly, but I think he manages to keep it slightly under control there to keep it within the bounds of a good lap time. But as he goes through the second sector, that was and I think that his lap over as he cuts the corner there. But I'm not too sure, as we'll have to read the timing screen to see if that's true or not. But as we go through the laps, it seems increasingly likely that he's not going to make a good lap time. But it is valid, but it is a yellow sector. I mean, his first sector was a green, which was good, which was promising. But now his second sector is a yellow, which means he might be what's it called decreasing in pace as he goes around the lap. But he is getting quite close to those apexes on the final couple of corners there, going on the DRS to cross the line, but he does not improve. That was his third sector was a yellow too, meaning he stays in P5.
So that was an average lap by Mr. Ruthist, who does not improve. However, the lobby is fairly closed up together, fairly bunched up. The top 5 have a gap of around 2.5 seconds in between them, so that's really great to see. We have 11 players in this lobby. Hopefully more to join fairly soon. Again, link is pinned in the chat for you guys who do want to try this out. But yeah, provisional poll still hasn't been beaten. The time hasn't gone any faster. So we just waited to see. 152 minutes to go still. There's still quite a bit of time for players to, set new laps. Again, we just wait and see, I suppose.
Yep, as we have shuffled the $2 man coming into the race to prove maybe he's a pay driver. We don't know that, but yeah, it is actually free to join. Anyone can join. Even you can join. The guy sitting in the chat, Chris, what happened there? But yeah, it's anyone can join. There's plenty of spaces left, so make sure that you join in on the fun as we have a minute 17 of qualifying left. That means these lap times are going to these lap times on the standings are going to be coming up less and less as these looking more likely to be our final standings. But who knows? Maybe someone sets a lap in the dying parts of qualifying. As Nee 6/10 behind Chris, he really needs to set a good enough lap to challenge Chris for that pole position. But I don't think Chris is worried, as he has a very nice gap, and he's also been improving on some of his sectors as well. But yeah, as we see Gonzalez, he's in P3 as well. He dethroned HSVK and Roof, who are in that P3, P4 position. So that means that we'll have, most likely, in my opinion, this will be the top three going through the race. So we only have 36 seconds of qualifying left, and I don't think Roof or HSVK have the technical capability to set a lap in such a short notice, as giving the consistency and the bumps around their track. So we'll have to see. But they do set Black, I'm gonna say, sets a green first sector, which is looking promising for him, as he is in P6 currently, 2 seconds behind Roof. So he'll may have to do more than just a slight improvement on a green sector to actually have an impact on his standing. But he does get a second green sector, which does show that there is a little bit of promise throughout his lap, as he is going through the beautiful track of Istanbul Park, as he is going to go nearing the final moments of the lap in the car things, but he does not improve. He gets a yellow sector, and that means he will. Oh wait, well, he does improve actually. My mistake. Yeah. But he does not improve his position in the standings. He's unfortunately 23 thousandths behind, which is really unfortunate to him, as I feel like that grid spot would have been a little bit of a boost to encouragement. But yeah, enough of me, all of that commentating. Guafa, you may continue.
Yeah, definitely. As Gons improves his lap, goes up to a 111.7 as he crossed the line right there. Also, everybody head to the grid. It's time to get the race going. So just line up in your positions and let's get this going. But here's the final grid. So in P1 is Chris with an absolutely blistering lap. Nobody was able to get even close to it. So 1.10.7 is the lap time to beat, was the lap time to beat. You guys can't beat it anymore. So yeah, we have a couple of cars heading to the grid. This is the final, again, standings as we said. Second is Nee, third is Gons, fourth is HVSK, fifth is Ruthist, sixth is Xerox or Black Moon Killer. In P7 we have Seth, in P8 we have Sassy, in P9 we have Shuffle, P10 Fisk, and in 11th the guy who did not settle up. Is he still in the lobby? I have no idea. I can't spectate him. It's probably Leon, so we'll just have to wait.
And as we direct our attention to the chat, we have another donation from Mr. Dilphosaurus. Just you can continue off on that.
Yeah, absolutely amazing, Mr. Dillo. Another €3 donation. Sassy, go faster or else you like men. Absolutely amazing, Sassy. You better listen to Dillo. Leon, what exactly are you saying? Your comm is louder compared to you. What exactly does that mean? Let me know.
I think that means that my voice on the stream is louder than yours, so you're gonna have to maybe turn it down. I don't know.
Okay, here we go. We turn G-force down. Although I don't think that's a big issue because we don't overlap each other, so that's fine. Right, so is everybody on the grid? Let's see. So in P1, again, Mr. Chris. In P2, Nee. In P3, Gons. In P4, HVSK. In P5, Ruthist. In P6, Xerox. P7 is Seth. P8 is Sassy. In P9, we have Shuffle. And that's about it. So P10 and P11, the game doesn't allow me to show, unfortunately. But yeah, there comes the donation. Thanks again, Mr. Dilla, for the €3 donation. And Mr. GeForce, the poll time was a 110.7. So should we go for like 25 laps? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, 25 laps seems about, oh my days, seems about right.
That's a massive voice crack from me right there.
I don't want to talk about it.
All right. So 25 laps of racing probably. There we go. As we are getting ready to go. I will be starting the lights. You guys don't know when. You will see, apparently. So we just wait and see as I start them right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 lights are on. And we have 25 laps of the race beginning in Istanbul Park. So Chris has a great getaway, as always, down into turn number 1. Let's see who makes the mistake first and catches them out. That bump right there that we have been talking about through the whole qualifying session, as Nee is going fairly slowly. Up the hill now they go. Gons seems to have overtaken Nee on the traction over there. But let's see how that goes, as we have a 4-way battle for the P4 position down the grid. As I said back in qualifying, the grid is very bunched up, so expect to see some good action today, and that's about it. So let's go and focus back on the leaders. Chris seems to have gotten a nice gap for himself. He just needs to make that a bit wider in case the people behind him get DRS. They're going to be much more pacey with the help of that DRS, so Chris needs to make sure that the DRS for them is off. As Nee makes a mistake, doesn't he? Yeah, he does. So there comes Nee's first mistake, something very crucial. He has lost lots of pace, and he's now fighting to keep his P3 hopes alive.
Yeah. Nee has been heavily affected by those bumps around Istanbul Park, as he's had 2 from what I've seen, and now he's, I think, out of the fight for the P1 as of now. Obviously, there's going to be definitely much more changes throughout the rest of the race. We have 25 laps of racing action, as we see Gonzalez around there. He does make a little mistake, gets onto the grass a little bit there, but he is ahead of Nee far enough that it does not affect his standing, but it will affect his time between Nee. As Chris is running away with the race so far, he is 7/10 ahead of Gonzalez from what we see right now. But yeah, as we see the battle for P3, it's spread over around 4 cars from P3 to P6, but that will be huge, in comparison to the point standing, because it's from 15 points all the way down to 8 points. So that 7-point difference could be massive, and it could change everything in the championship as well. But as we see the racing action, we see the Williams behind the Red Bull slightly there, but Nee is making up ground to Gonzalez, maybe from that mistake there, but now he's only 1.3 seconds behind him, and Gonzalez is 1.7 seconds behind the leader Chris, so he's made a run away from the DRS troubles that he would have faced earlier if he did manage to stay within that 1 second gap. But yeah, we see HSVK, and I think that is Black challenging for that P4 position, as they are 3/10 but within each other. Seth drops down slightly. No, Roof dropped down slightly, actually. He is only in P6 now because he's had a huge mistake. I thought he was in the battle for P3 originally. Now he's down in 6, 7 seconds behind Black. He must have had a huge mistake there, because now he's fighting with Seth Woolley, which is obviously where he doesn't want to be, but that is the place where he is in.
Oh, massive mistake by Seth Woolley, massive bump. And as we said in qualifying, lots of drivers are going to be caught out by bumps there, and he has been caught out by a bump, allowing Mr. Leon with the Red Bull Miami livery to catch up and potentially overtake for that P7 position. And that mistake has costed Seth a lot of time, and he's probably not going to get the points for P7, or is he? We'll have to wait and see. But yet another driver caught out by a massive bump, as Leon almost loses his rear as well. And sorry to cut you there, G-Force, but yeah, we can get back to you.
Yeah, Chris, I think, made a bit of a mistake there, as Gonzalez and Chris are much closer to that DRS. I think they might have actually gotten it there. I mean, I know Nee's gotten the DRS from Gonzalez as he's caught up. Oh, they both have DRS, so they are within that DRS range, but he does make a huge mistake there. Definitely a moment for him there as he enters the first couple of corners there, so he will most likely be battling Nee for that to regain that P2. But as we see, they are almost side by side, as they are taking a little bit different lines, but mostly the same, as they are also just a little bit over a second behind, as Nee goes way more wider than Gonzalez there. They're definitely taking these two different lines to see who will come out on top. But yeah, Gonzalez, from what I saw there, is getting very much closer, but also is nearing towards a corner cut, potentially. We'll have to see how it fares throughout the race. But all of this battling has caused Chris to essentially disappear away from the DRS, range. But it does seem like they are catching up again, as they're 2 seconds almost to now 1.457 seconds. So there is definitely still a chance for Nee to come back from those 2 mistakes. But the two mistakes in the in just lap 4 makes you think about how many more mistakes Nee will get. But there's also a chance for other drivers to get mistakes as well, as we've seen with Seth Woolley, as he is in P8 currently from his P6 originally.
I have to give a massive props out to GeForce because he's really professional with what he's doing. And I just want to say they're still going at it side by side as Mr. Nee potentially loses a bit of time there as he lost his rear due to those pretty deadly bumps that we have been talking about all the race long, and they're still going at it side by side. And it's been a couple of wraps right now. They have been on each other's gearboxes. They have been swapping positions left, right, and center, and I just want to wait it out and see who can actually take that P2 position. As Nee seems to have created a gap for himself. In the beginning of the race, he actually made a couple of mistakes. He had fallen back and he was fighting to keep the podium to himself. But now he has gotten up to P2, and Mr. Gonzalez seems to have lost a bit of pace himself as well. And he's now down 3 seconds behind the leaders as we speak. So we're going to be watching over Nee as he has actually closed the gap to Chris. So Chris might have made a couple of mistakes himself as well, and has allowed Nee to close the gap. He's now within the DRS range and within 0.8 of a second. So that's really, really great to see. Nee started the race on the back foot, but he's now on the front foot once again. And I just cannot wait to see till the end of the race who's going to be able to claim that lead of the race.
Yeah, but we cannot wait to the end of the race because it's happening right now. This battle for P1 and P2. Gonzalez has fallen back from that one mistake. I think it was in the first corner of the lap 6. So he is out of that current fight for P1 actually now, as Nee closed the gap into the DRS range, as he's only 6 tenths behind. And Gonzalez, he's 1.6 tenths or so behind Nee as well. So there's definitely a gap between the two, as Gonzalez is also making mistakes as well, like Nee in the first moments of the race. But yeah, Chris has also made a little bit of ground on Nee actually. Maybe Nee's made a mistake, or Chris has just been absolutely flying in P1. But yeah, the gap has increased as well to 1.6 tenths. It was larger than it was at the end of that lap 6. But now entering into lap 7, we see a wider gap between the first 3 drivers, as it's now like a 1.6 tenths between the two of them. Further down, that does not really match the case, because we see a battle brewing for P4 and P5 actually, as they're within 4 tenths of each other actually. Roof and Black Moon Killer in the first moments of lap 7, first sector of lap 7. As we see HSVK not too far away in the distance as well. The Williams is trying to catch up for that P4 finish potentially, which could be crucial for the rest of the championship. But yeah, Black does make a little bit mistake there. He is, I think, quite further away from Roof than he was at the start of the lap, as he is making a couple more mistakes, as we go down the lead.
They're going side by side, GeForce. They're going side by side. Nee, I think, has taken the lead, hasn't he? Who has the DRS? I wasn't able to see right there, but Nee seems to be, side by side. They're going, absolutely incredible. Nee has caught up back to Chris. Back to Chris, and it seems like Chris has made a couple of mistakes himself as well. And the graphic says that Nee is just merely 2 tenths behind Chris. And they're still going at it side by side through turn 1, 2, and they're going to be heading up to turn number 3. Who's going to be ahead by the time they finish sector 1? As Chris has a massive moment, he loses his rear right there as well, but they're still at it side by side. They're onto each other's gearboxes, and it's absolutely incredible, the scenes that we're having here in Istanbul Park today, as the graphic says that Nee is in the lead. So I'm very, very happy to see that, as Nee is finally able to challenge for the lead. But hey, let's not give him the commentator's curse that has ruined lots and lots of drivers' races around this championship.
Yeah, the commentator's curse is definitely one thing you don't want happening to you, as it's happened to Nee before in Silverstone as well with that huge mistake. But yeah, Chris must have made a huge mistake, as he makes one right there. He has the DRS, but he does lose a lot of ground there going to Knee, and Knee takes the lead of this race, which proves it. I mean, he was made a couple of mistakes in the first laps. He was like 3 seconds behind, but he's made that up, which proves that there's no you should never give up if you're a couple seconds behind someone, because you never know around this track. As Chris is definitely struggling around Istanbul Park, getting a lot of these bumps, and I don't think he's just finding the right line he wants to be going on. And Knee, he's finding his groove a little bit more as he's 1.1 seconds. Now Chris is out of the DRS range of Knee, which is a massive turn of events. As we see also Gonzalez down in P4. What's happened to him? And as well as Roof, they've had a lot of mistakes in the lower parts of the race as well. As we've seen Roof go for I think it was Roof, yeah, Gonzalez going from a P3 to now suddenly P4, and Roof, who was in that P4 position, is now down to P6 behind of HSVK, which is a massive turn of events, as now we see Black up into that P3 position, podium finishing potentially, but I do not think he is going to make it to P1 or P2, because Knee and Chris are on another level, as Chris has now a 4.9 second gap between Knee. What has happened to him as he's now just entering the straight of the lap? We can see Knee all the way down there starting his lap on lap 10, and Chris, I don't know what's happened to him, but he's definitely not in the groove today. I mean, he was at the start in qualifying and at the start of the race, but now he is just trying to find at least some bit of pace to at least match Knee, but it's going to be difficult for him in the next couple of laps as we go into the pit stop phase very soon.
Oh, massive moment. Just like you said, we're going into the pit stop phase soon, and it really makes you wonder, are those mistakes because of the bumps, or are those mistakes because of the tire wear? Because it's surely hitting the drivers by now. Even if it is... Oh, another mistake by Chris. What's happening? Feels like he's on ice. That is not that I have not seen that happen to other drivers in this race yet. He's just completely losing his cool. He needs to keep his cool together. Knee is prone to making mistakes. Is that Knee in front of him? Oh, he has made mistakes as well.
Yep, Knee has made another mistake, but it just shows, I think the tire wear is starting to affect the drivers, as there's no way they drive like this normally. Chris is not, driving like he usually does, but now he is in the DRS of Knee as they're going into the final couple of turns. He gets a little bit wide there. Yeah, you can definitely see the tire wear acting on them right now, as we'll just have to see who pits first. But right now, we're in the battle, we're in the moment, as they're on the main straight on lap 10, entering into lap 11, as he is just 2 tenths behind from that 5 second gap as they go into the first couple of corners, as we see a Red Bull enter. That must be some other driver, as they are lap cars, as Chris and Knee are just in a lock of a battle. They've been in a battle for the last couple of laps, and it's just been so incredibly intense. I honestly can't tell who's gonna come out on top. They're just so incredibly close to each other. I don't know who's gonna come out. Chris comes out ahead in the first sector, but is most likely not gonna stay with the DRS and with all of these mistakes coming around within these two. As we see another car join the battle. Oh, Knee! I think he made a little bit of a mistake there, as he is now, I think, well behind Chris, and he, I think, has to slot into that P2 position for just a little bit longer, as he gets a little half snap there, but he manages to keep it. Well done to him. But yeah, almost halfway through the race now, I definitely think there are questions about pitting now, because these soft tires, I don't think they're going to last for much longer. As you can see, they've also started to have detrimental impacts on drivers. But yeah, as we see, Knee is just in that 1 second behind. He's like on the cusp of that DRS zone. I don't think he didn't get it there. So yeah, he is outside. Oh, he did get that. Yeah, my mistake. So yeah, he is 1.1 seconds behind Chris. So we'll have to see and question whether he can manage to get back into the DRS range or make another mistake, which could put him just temporarily in P2 for a couple more laps.
Yeah, just like you said, it's been a very, very intense few laps, and I cannot wait to see who will be pitting first. I mean, obviously, whoever pits first is going to have better tire wear in the short term, but they're not going to be benefiting from it in the end of the race. So we have 25 laps of this race, and the drivers are potentially looking to go for a soft. Wow, massive mistake by Knee. Does he crash? No, he doesn't crash out. That's very, very lucky. He doesn't lose his rear wing. He doesn't lose his tires. That is very lucky by Mr. Knee. but not lucky in a very good term, because he now is 4 seconds behind Chris. And GeForce, we've seen this again. So Chris, a few laps ago, he was 4 seconds behind, but now they have totally switched positions. And now Nee is in the position that Chris was. Has Chris pitted? He
Yeah,
has.
Chris has
Yeah,
pitted.
Chris has pitted.
Yeah, Chris into the pit stop, definitely going on to another set of the softs, as I don't think there is any, I'm not sure if I remember this correctly, but there are no rules for tire compounds in the race.
Yeah.
So as we're in the exact halfway point of the lap, Nee has to make up, has to gain as much ground as he can, but he's not doing that quite exactly with that spin there. Nee is, yeah, we can definitely see the tire wear. Maybe he's gone out a little bit too late, as Chris now has these fresh tires, but he also makes a little bit of a mistake there. So that proves that maybe some of the track is still going to affect him a lot as well. But Nee, he is in the lead now, but obviously not going to be for long as he tries to extend his stint so he can have the fresher tires at the end of the race. But HSVK, we've been completely missing out the mid-full battle, which is unfortunate, as we have four challenges. We had four challenges for the races for the P3 battle, actually, as we have, I think, Roof and Seth have pitted, or no, Roof and Gonzalez have pitted, and Black and HSVK are stomaching it out, as I think they are trying to go for different strategies to get that last podium position. As I don't think, Roof, I think
Yeah.
he was off track there slightly, but yeah.
Yeah, so I
But
think
he's
Ruth made a massive mistake over there. He potentially lost a ton of time. But what I am actually interested in seeing, yep, there we go. So Nee has pitted, so he is going for the overcut. And as I said before, Nee is gonna have potentially the better tires towards the end of the race. But let's see, who is gonna be in front? Is it gonna be Chris or is it gonna be Nee? Oh, Chris has lost a bunch of time actually. Or is he in front actually? Yeah. Oh no, never mind. Yep, he's in front. I actually missed it. Nee has missed a lot of time, and let's see where. Oh, massive by Nee there as well. Yet another mistake by Nee. That is not great to see. Not great at all. That potentially ruins Nee's race in a permanent manner, because now Chris is in the lead by a long, long while.
Yeah, Chris has now managed to get a 10-second gap between him and Nee, as Nee is now closer to HSVK, who's still yet to pit, so he is still safe for that P2 position. But that does what's called open doubts about Nee's championship battles in the future as well. As we have another donation.
Yep, we're gonna take a quick break from all that action. Mr. Shuffle, thanks again for for yet another donation. You guys are absolutely amazing. In my retire, I need to drive with the controller. I suck with the mouse, dear Lamont. Well, that's a lesson for you. Hard lesson learned, but lesson learned after all. Thanks again for the 11 euros, and we're back into the action. And as we were saying, yeah, Nee has lost a lot of time with that little mistake that he had. It wasn't little, it was anything but little. But that means that HVSK now is currently fairly close to Nee, and if Nee keeps doing what he's doing, he will lose out a bunch more time, potentially giving HVSK a second place finish in his debut race. But the rest of the people, we have Xerox, who has actually lost P3. He was in P3 before, but HVSK seems to just be overall a bit quicker. Ruth is in P5 as well. In P6 we have Seth, as he does a small mistake going through the final couple of turns. Leon as well in P7, and that's about it. The rest have actually retired.
Yep. Chris is now. I mean, I think Nee is starting to gain a little bit of ground with that extra lap of fresh tires, as he is only 8.4 seconds behind as opposed to that 10 seconds, because Chris is going to also make mistakes. He's not a robot, although I am 99% convinced that he is. But, you know, HSVK, he is not too far away from me. I think he's really extending his... Oh, no, never, not
Yep.
anymore, as he pits. And so that will put him back into that P3 battle with Black and Roof. I think Gonzalez is out of the race. Yep, as we have, I think 6 people left within the race, which is kind of disappointing. But, you know, as we, you know, these crashes, this you know, track is very difficult. So I understand these, these retirements coming out. But yeah, Black and HSVK fighting for that P3 in the championship, as they are, you know, Well, I think they have a quite bit of difference. I think is HSVK slightly ahead. I believe he is.
He's
No, he isn't
actually not.
actually. Black has a gap to him, a 3 second gap to him, in fact. But yeah, I feel like this will be the battle for P3 as no one I think is due to pit any longer. Roof has just absolutely went just his race has gone south. A couple like a couple 5 laps ago maybe, and now and yeah, he is now down in P5 as he is, I think he might be, fighting with Seth for that P5 position. As we have the leaders, Nee is actually catching up. We saw this in Silverstone. Chris was ahead. Nee was catching up with his better tire wear. I know Nee is great at racing with what's it called, reduced tire wear, but will that manage to be enough to catch him? As we have 8 laps, 7 seconds. He needs to improve at over a rate of maybe he has to improve at just a rate of a second per lap. But whether he can do that remains to be what's it called decided throughout these couple of laps as he makes a little bit of a has a little bit of wheel spin there. I think that might have come out shortly on time as he's now 7.3 tenths behind as I think he was 7.1. So yep, he is definitely hovering around 7 seconds. But if Chris makes a mistake that needed flipping over, that was really disappointing to see from Nee. I think that there is still a sliver of chance, a needle in a haystack, if you may, to what's it called potentially win this race. But he actually does make a bit of ground there. So Chris, I think he's starting to feel the stress of being in P1 as Nee is trying to close up on him by a rate of a couple like second laps. He didn't even catch it by a rate of not because what's it called? He doesn't need that. He has plenty ample time with that extra lap of tires. And as we see these battles brewing, it will be exciting to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, it's not even just about improving a second per lap. He doesn't need to do that. He just needs to keep it clean because Chris is making mistakes. He has made mistakes. He's making mistakes, and he will be making mistakes throughout the rest of this race. He just needs to keep it clean. Needs to not repeat. And as again, there you go. So he lost his rear, as we all saw a few moments ago. For sure, Nee gained a few tenths from that as they're going to be heading towards the next sector line. We're going to see how much Nee gained. But as I was saying, Nee just needs to keep it clean. He doesn't even need to be fast. He just needs to keep it clean because Chris is prone to making mistakes. And everybody else out on track today, they're all prone to making mistakes. Moving further down, though, in the podium fight, it looks like the gap is fairly stable, not black, and neither HVSK is quicker than one another. So I guess that's good to see. But yeah, that's a fight there. Asni makes yet another mistake. Is that a penalty? Is that a mistake? We'll never find out. 12.5 seconds behind. So all the ground he had made up, it's all gone, and there is potentially 0% chance that he will be winning this time around as well.
Yep, needs to be good a little bit, music, but also a bit to divert attention away from the race. We have another donation coming from Unificient. Arthur, you can continue now.
Oh, yep, I will read the donation in just a little while as Xerox makes a massive mistake and he goes wide, meaning he loses the podium, that crucial podium that he has been fighting for throughout the whole race. HVSK is now ahead. That is absolutely devastating to see from Black's point of view, but HVSK's point of view, he will be very, very happy with that. As let me read the donation. Greetings from Turkey. Oh, we have a Turkish friend up here. Right. Hello there. Thanks for the donation. Actually, there's an ad running right now. Wait, let the ad finish. 10 seconds.
Advertisement.
Advertisements going absolutely insane. But yeah, 5 seconds to go.
Yep, 5, 4, 3,
Three,
2,
1.
1,
And
we're
back. Welcome, boys. So, greetings from Turkey. Thanks again for the donation. Welcome, my Turkish friend. Yeah, we don't have beef apart from the food beef, so.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I'm gonna be the deciding factor here. I've never tried really any cuisine that much, so it will have to be a draw.
Yeah. Well, you can't really have a place in our beef because you aren't in our beef, so you can't really,
Why don't we
say.
get India involved, huh?
You get
What's that,
involved by
India?
becoming either Turkish or becoming Greek.
Okay.
which you aren't going to be doing any of those probably anytime soon. So
Anytime soon, you mean never?
never. See,
Yeah.
you're making your position worse slowly but
I
steadily.
am. I am making my
Yeah.
vision words. That's just what I do as a that's just what I do. That's me. That's the GeForce brand. But yeah, as we've
Doing
we
exactly
focus
what
back
Nee
on
has been doing in the past couple of laps.
yeah, knee has been, doing his knee brand, He's been making those mistakes and now he's 14 seconds behind with 4 laps to go. Questions remain whether he will manage to, what's it called, keep consistent, as he is actually closer to HSVK than he is to Chris, which is really a sorry sight for Knee, as he was in that, he was 5 seconds clear of Chris in P1. He was living life at that moment, but his mistakes and his inconsistency cost him there. As now, with the pit stop and everything, all the pit stop rounds, he's just now in P2, a sullen P2, as I think this actually puts Chris ahead in the championship. We have a new championship leader if things stay like this, which there's a 90% chance they will, but there's a 10% chance that, maybe Nee has the best comeback of all time. We'll have to see as we're in these dying moments of the race. But Chris, has done a really good job today, as he is now pulling a even larger gap, even with that, what's it called, 1 lap older for a set of softs, which are meant to wear out quicker. So it's really impressive to see how Chris has managed to keep his foot ahead of Nee, stepped on his foot a little bit there, say, hey, this is my turf. So yeah, it's really impressive to see from Chris.
GeForce tried to be tough there. Hey, this is my tough. But yeah. So yeah, as you said, what did you say actually? I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, Chris has just been extending his gap. He's been, I'll use my foot analogy again. He's kicked his foot ahead and stepped on Knee's foot and said, hey, this is my
This is my
turf.
tough. Yeah, so now I'm actually back into this. The reason why I wasn't paying attention is because I was paying attention at the lap times, and as you guys will be able to see, Nee has got the fastest lap. So I think they will be equal on points. I don't think we're gonna have a new championship leader this time around. But we still have to wait and see about that. Maybe Chris goes into the pits to get the new soft compounded tire. I think he has the gap to do that, but it's a bit of a risk as he's prone to making mistakes as well. I would suggest that he doesn't do that, but if he really wants to make sure that he has the championship lead after this race, he kind of has to. But we'll see. He doesn't dive into the pits just yet. But yeah, that's what I was doing while you were doing your commentating. That's why I wasn't paying attention, and now you know. The more you know.
Now you know, homie. But yeah, Chris, there's these gap. I mean, yeah, he's 6 points, but I'm not 100% sure about that. We'll have to check for the race. But yeah, I think they'll be equal in points, as you said. So it will be definitely interesting to see them now on equal footing. As you know, in Silverstone, he managed to get the best of Nee, and in Turkey, he gets the best of Nee again. It's kind of, Chris dominating Nee at this point. It's not really a fight. It's more like a, what's it called? Like a pinch. Chris pinching Nee,
I
I'll do another analogy here.
yeah.
There you go, kids. That's a terrible analogy, but yeah, Chris, he's been ahead of Nee so many times now. Like, yeah, this is just, what's it called? Another lap, another day, another win, a potential, most likely, because there is, you could never give up. That's what I said. Never back down, never give up, never what. But what's it called? Like, he has the potential to make that mistake that needed the flip. This track is unpredictable. You don't know what's gonna happen. It's potential. It's that word, potentially. It's gonna be used a lot, because we don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen.
We definitely don't know, and I'm actually fairly sad to see Nee not being able to challenge for the win, as he was fairly competitive during the mid part of the race. He was actually in the lead by 4 seconds, was it? And now he's 12 seconds behind the leader, who is Chris. We're yet to see if Chris is going to be going for the fastest lap attempt, as he's going to be making his way through the pre-final lap, so we have 2 more to go. As he makes a mistake there, but I don't think it's going to be too much on his time. Yeah, Nee makes up around 8 tenths there, but I'm sure Chris is still good to go. He's making his way around Istanbul Park. He's going to be through that corner once more again, and after that, he is going to be potentially winning this race if he keeps it nice and clean. As he gets DRS through the straight, which is weird to see, nobody's ahead of him, not even a lap car, which is quite weird to see. But Nice seems to have made 3 seconds actually in the past 3 sectors. So is that promising? Does that mean something?
No, it does not most definitely mean something because mistakes were made in the process, as you know, that's a common saying. But lap 25, this is Chris's victory lap as he's probably going to gallivant it around. As he's going around the track, he's saying to the fans, "Yeah, I won this race." Probably, we don't know, but we're gonna pretend like he is. As we see the rest of the field, in HSVK in P3, he managed to keep that P3 throughout the race. With that mistake from Black, so that's really unfortunate from him. But another man's trash, one man's trash is another man's gold. As HSVK takes that what's it called? Trash from Black and makes it into his gold, as now he's in P3, Roof in P5, and Seth P6, Italy on P7. So decent points around. I mean, Gonzalez, he was in that P3 position, so that was really unfortunate for him to make it out of the race like that. But
But
let's
yeah,
just focus on. Oh, sorry.
yeah,
Continue.
so GeForce just talked us through the whole grid. They all did fantastically in their own ways today, but Chris just a bit more fantastic than everybody else as he crosses the line. He's going to be crossing it very, very shortly, actually. He's weaving down the straight, but Chris is your race winner. Is he the championship leader? We'll have to wait and see after the results are announced on my Discord. But he wasn't that great today. He gains a bit of time on that last lap, but just not enough. He made a couple of mistakes, as he always does, and we hope next time around is just that more consistent and that he can finally challenge for a race win around this championship. In P3, we have HVSK after an amazing fight with Black Moon Killer. But HVSK does it a bit better than Black Moon Killer, and he's going to be crossing the line right ahead of him on his debut. He gets a podium. That's a nice result if you ask me. In P4, he's going to be coming to the line fairly shortly. Is going to be Black Moon Killer, as we said. Again, he made mistakes himself. He was up for the podium fight, but he just didn't keep it consistent enough. He's going to be through the final corner as we speak, and he's going to be crossing line right about now to finish in P4. Next up is going to be Ruth. He still has a bit of road ahead of him to cross the line. But what do you think of today's race, GeForce? I think that was very fascinating to see.
Yeah, I mean, the battle between Chris and Neen lasted for around 20 laps before it was really over for Neen. So that was a really interesting battle for P1 again. It was very, what's it called? It reminded me of Silverstone most of the time because, there was a lot of switches in the championship lead, in the race lead, mama. But yeah, Nee had that mistake in Silverstone. He had that mistake in Turkey. Willie had that mistake in other races when he challenges Chris for the lead again in in the future races. But yeah, HSVK had a really good job. That battle for P3 was really interesting in those first couple of laps. You didn't really know who was going to come out. They were all capable drivers of getting P3, but HSVK bested all of them today. Black also, he had that really sorrowful mistake in one of those laps, like a couple laps ago. So it's good to see him in P4, but it could have been more. It could have been more, And then Seth, he was, not the best in qualifying, not the best in the race, but P6, I think he'll take it. And Roof, he was also there as well in P5. He did a really good job of managing to keep it in that top 5 position, which I think he'll have some pride about at least, because he did give up a P3 position as well. But then again, there was a huge battle for P3, but only one person can have it.
What I will be focusing on, though, is that everybody gets points because the field was not big enough. And congratulations to everybody who took place in today's part, and as we said, in today's race. And as we said, Chris was just a tiny bit better than everybody else. Who, in the end of the race, he did the lesser mistakes. He took the lesser bumps. He actually perfected his pit stop strategy. As he gets into the barriers, I hope he's well and alive. But if he isn't, well, I guess we'll never see him again. But this was PA Community Championship, round number 3 here in Istanbul. And I guess we will be catching you guys next time around, which will be Mr. J Force.
Next Saturday.
No, no, no. I mean the track. Choose the track.
Oh, well, we've had Hockenheim, we've had Turkey, we've had Silverstone, we've had that first track I've forgotten.
Mexico.
So Mexico.
Yeah.
So, Zandvoort. How about Zandvoort?
Zandvoort. Even more of a bumpy mess. Jesus. Well, I guess we're gonna have a rough one next time around. But again, this was PA Community Championship. Hope you all enjoyed the broadcast. Thanks again, massive for the donations, and we'll catch you next week, same time, same YouTube channel, and hopefully the same commentator. Hopefully GeForce doesn't miss the next one.
Hopefully.
But yeah, thanks again, everybody, and we'll catch you all next time. Bye bye.
Goodbye.